playing in double C tuning, it works well for open strings, but playing up the neck, it's a little tricky because of the intervals, between the strings to get
Oh yeah, right.
to get to get extended chords, extended harmony. It kind of things don't lay out real cleanly. Do you stumble upon this, and how do you work around it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to relearn a lot of things. It is frustrating because all your major skills, like they're gone, or any skill you learned, anything you were taught in school, suddenly you have to find a new way to play it. And to be honest, actually, I think this. When I tuned my banjo to a place I just didn't know, like being in a foreign country, all of a sudden you have to explore it. Like I didn't really know what I was doing, and as a result of that, I stumbled upon by accident some interesting voicings. A lot of the stuff. I mean, I've had teachers who've pushed music theory on me, and I studied music theory a lot in school. But to this day, a lot of the music theory stuff I don't use when I'm actually composing. I understand a lot of it intuitively, but I don't really think about it so much as I'm writing music. So a lot of it, and a lot of the process of writing for Ode's codes was really just pecking around this tuning. And I got lucky with it a lot. So I was like, oh, this is a cool sound that would never have worked in G tuning. So it was just sort of like putting my fingers down, and eventually I would analyze and like, oh, that's what I'm doing. But a lot of it is just me putting my fingers down and seeing what I get. And then later it's like, oh, that's a tool for my toolbox. I can use it later. So I began to become very familiar with this tuning, but it was certainly a bit of a learning curve. Yeah.
And doing that I've done that before, and it really forces you to, use your ears instead of
Yes.
using these boxes that you've memorized.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it's good practice. And then, especially for writing something, you're strictly using your ears and not licks.
Exactly.
And are you using a lot of open strings up the neck? It sounds like it.
That is what I was about. Yes, I was about to bring that up. One of the key components, one of the main elements of my music is taking advantage of open strings. I would not be able to get the lush sounds I get if it wasn't for open strings. And of course, if I want interesting sounds with open strings, I'm going to need interesting open tunings. So one of the reasons why these open tunings work so well is because I can use open strings in these voicings. Like all to the last song I played that ends on this chord, basically. I'm using only 2 of the strings are fretted, and the rest of them are open. Or this voicing, 2 open strings, 2 open strings. There's not really any voice. Thinking about my other music, I'm analyzing myself all of a sudden. But in general, there's almost always going to be an open string there, and that's really how I get the legato. From playing, which is sort of responsible for the pianistic similarity.